Alright, so welcome to episode 8, and in this episode is very awesome. We are going to look at a lot of tools in here. So we are going to look at the direct selection tool, the arc to add anchor point to remove anchor point to the width tool, and many more tricks. Okay, it's going to be a long one. If you are not ready now, come back later, sit, relax. This is not Netflix and chill. This is logo design and chill. We are on our way to logo design, and we have to know all these tools and their moves and tricks. Okay, so if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Let's jump in. So we are going to look at editing path. Okay, and when we are talking of editing path, we are going to deal with this tool, the direct selection tool, more, and then anchor points. Okay, and when we need straight lines or path or curve, we are going to look at the line and then the arc tool for now. Okay, so let's grab a line. So we can go for the line to shortcut backslash on the keyboard. Okay, so we need a straight line over here. We're going to create a straight line. All right, so in the properties or up here, my stroke size is 2. Good. So let's look at the anchor points, because we're going to deal with anchor points more in here. So let's go to edit and preferences. Let's go to selection and anchor point display. Now this is the size of the anchor point and handles bounding box display. Let's bring it to max and see what happens. Okay, so the anchor points becomes bigger. Okay, all right, so this is cool. All right, so let's look at path. So there's a path. Let's duplicate this path by holding Alt on the keyboard, clicking and dragging here. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to look at is joining lines or path. Okay, so we are going to combine these two or join these two lines. There's a break over here. So to do that, we need to select anchor point. Okay, so if you look at this, there's an anchor point, there's an anchor point. Okay, so you can select an anchor point, but you can only select an anchor point with the direct selection tool, not the move tool. So select this guy, direct selection tool, A on the keyboard. Okay, so with the direct selection tool, you can see that these two anchor points have been selected. Okay, they are blue. So if I click this guy, so let me just switch to a scene. So with the direct selection tool, when you select an anchor point, it turns blue. It looks like this. When it is not selected, it looks like this. Okay, so if I click this guy to select the path, you can see that they all look like this guy right here, because they are not selected, or I haven't selected any anchor point. So if I click this anchor point, you can see it looks like this guy. So this anchor point is selected. This guy will be stationary. So when I click and drag, you can see this guy is stationary, and then I'm moving this anchor point because only this anchor point is being selected. So if I click this guy, oh sorry, if I click this guy will be deselected, and then I can move this guy around. Okay, so when you select anchor point, it becomes this, it looks like this, and not selected this. Let me undo this. All right, so talking about selecting anchor points with the direct selection tool, let's finish it up before we go to joining path and all of that. So let's say we have a rectangle like this, create a rectangle like this. Okay, good. So with the direct selection tool right now, all if I click this guy, you see this guy appears, only this anchor point is selected. I can click drag outside, I can click this guy and then tweak the anchor point, okay, one after the other. Okay, good. So the direct selection tool and anchor points go hand in hand. Let me undo that. Okay, so let's say we have this shape right here, and I want to extend the side. I can select the move tool, click this guy, and with this anchor point I can click it and then drag here like that. Okay, if I want to bring this bar up, I can click this, drag up. Okay, click this, drag down. Cool. Now what if, okay, what if I have a strange shape? Let's say we grab the pen tool, create this shape with me. Click here, click down, click here, click here, click here. You can close it. Okay, don't worry if it is not a straight line. Now what if I want to bring only this bar down and this bar here? If with the move tool I select with this anchor point, if I drag it, you can see that I'm dragging this side too, and this line is also stretching. I don't want it. I just want this width, everything here. I just want to stretch only this bar or this bar here. So if I do this, no, I don't want this. Even if I drag this guy down, you can see this guy is also getting bigger. I don't want it. So what we have to do is select the direct selection tool, and then we can drag over this to these two anchor points, or we can select this anchor point, hold shift, click this anchor point. Now you can click the anchor point again and drag. Okay, and if you want to get a straight line, hold shift to move in a straight path. Okay, and move it, bring it here. You see everything was stationary and only these two guys moved, stretching the side. I can select this, hold shift, click this. You can click the bar and then move down. Okay, or even after clicking, you can selecting these two anchor points, you can click the anchor points again and drag down. You can get your path move down like that. If I want to tweak this, I can tweak this. If I want to move this bar up, only this path up, okay, I can select this, hold shift, click here, and then up like that. Nothing moved except these this bar. Okay, just like that. But same thing we can do with these two guys, in and out, just like that. Okay, good. So that is about that's all about selecting anchor points and moving. So make sure sometimes if you are drawing or you are creating a logo and you want to stretch this up, and for instance, let me delete this. Okay, let's say we have L. Let's create something like L with a pen tool. Okay, it's the same thing that that we drew, but let's just make it. Let's say you are creating a logo, okay, just like this, and you want this length is too is long. Okay, so we want to shorten it. You click this and you try to drag it back. No, this guy will get thinner. So you just grab the direct selection tool and select this anchor point, select this anchor point. I hope you get it right. Then you just drag it back like that, only this length. Cool. Can drag over these two anchor points, select them, and then drag down. Use shift to move in a straight path. Okay, you can even drag down like that. Cool. So to join these two lines or these two paths, we just need to select the two anchor points over here. So click this anchor point, hold shift over here, it will pop up. Click this anchor point to have the two selected. In the properties, you can see convert over here, and you can see anchors over here. So this one says remove select anchor point, selected anchor points. This one says connect selected anchor point. So we can click the middle one and boom, we have these two lines connected. Okay, so you can see now it is one line, but if you have the direct selection to select, you can see anchor points over here. So if you want to remove these anchor points, if you select and click this anchor point, if you want to remove it, in the properties, this guy says remove selected anchor point. So if I click, I've removed that anchor point. If I select this guy and then remove, okay, it's gone. I can select this guy, remove anchor point. I now have a single anchor point over here. Okay, so even though there is nothing on this artboard, there is an anchor point somewhere. If I drag over here, you can see an anchor point is selected. So sometimes you have multiple of these hidden anchor points. So sometimes when you are selecting logos or objects, you see you select them, but you wouldn't know these hidden things, and they will be messing up your design. You'll be stressed up if you're a beginner. So let's say we have this line to arc 2. Sorry, this is the arc 2 in the same group with the line segment 2. So select the arc 2. With this arc 2, if you want to draw an arc, click and then drag. Okay, click, drag, and you can create an arc over there. All right, so let's say I have this arc. I select the direct selection tool. Let's say I delete this anchor point by clicking this guy, remove I selected anchor point. So right now you can see nothing is here, but when I drag over it, things get selected. Okay, so if I want to get rid of these hidden anchor points, so first of all we need to find them. Okay, because right now we don't see where they are unless we drag. Okay, this guy is selected, but there's another one here. So to find them, let's go to select and object. So down here you see stray points. if you click, you have these 3 points selected, and you can hit delete on the keyboard to delete them. So now let's look at adding anchor points. Okay, so if you grab the pen tool and then we create a square like that, let's say a rectangle like this. Okay, to add anchor points, if you right click on the pen tool, you have the group over here. So there's add anchor points. So if I select this guy, I can add an anchor point here, I can add an anchor point on the path. Okay, good. And with the direct selection tool, I can click this anchor point and then move it up like that. Okay, so I can click here and then move up, so you can adjust anchor points by adding. Okay, so same way, if I right click over here, we have delete anchor point tool. So this one, you can delete this anchor point, and when you delete an anchor point, there's no connection, so it will just collapse just like that. So if I want to delete this, see the shape, I can delete and delete. Okay, so if it is a straight line, okay, not connecting anything, for example this anchor point right here, it will remain a straight line because it doesn't affect the joints. Okay, but this guy joins here, connects these two guys. So when I remove this, you can see this has to happen. All right, so that's all about adding and removing anchor points. Okay, so now let's say up here I want this thing to curve. Okay, I don't want a corner point. I've told you that when you click once, that's a corner point, but if it's a curve, it's a smooth point. So let's say I want this to curve up here. I don't want it to be a sharp corner or a corner point. So what I'll do is, with the direct selection tool, I'll click this anchor point. In the properties, we see convert. So if it is a corner point, I can, if it is a smooth point, I can convert it to a corner point. Now I'll pause this video and tell me if this is a smooth or a corner point. Of course, don't pause. It's a corner point. So you can see, convert this anchor point to smooth. When I click this, it becomes a curve. Handles appear. So I can adjust this. Okay, this looks like well, that snack, I don't know, I've forgotten the name. So I can adjust, move, adjust. Okay, adjust. Now this is a smooth point. If I want to convert it back to a corner point, I can come here, click this guy to convert it back to a corner point. Okay, so I can click this, convert into a smooth. Okay, I can click, you can even select all of them. Okay, and then, but if you select all of them, that property won't show. So that's because you select a smooth point. Okay, so if you can select all the corner points, hold shift, click the unselected ones. Okay, you can convert all of them to smooth. So now let's say I have the pen tool. Okay, I click once, a corner point, click, corner, click, click, click. Okay, there's a zigzag or whatever. So with this, I can, with the direct selection tool selected, if you want to select any anchor point, make sure you have the direct selection tool. I can click this guy, okay, and then convert it to a smooth point. I can select this guy, convert it to a smooth point. I can select this guy up here, convert it into a smooth point. Now it is a wave. Okay, all right, so I can adjust this. Okay, these handles up here, and then I can adjust this. Okay, so if I want to convert them back to zigzag, I can, all I have to do is select the anchor point. Okay, and then over here convert to corner back to whatever state they were. Now these are mountains. Okay, so the easiest way to convert corner point to smooth points, lines to curves or arcs, is the use of the anchor point tool. So let's have a rectangle like this. Okay, oh good. And in the, let's say, hit P on the keyboard, the pen tool gets selected, and right click, you see the anchor point shortcut, shift plus C, select it. So if we grab the direct selection to select an anchor point, and instead of converting it to a smooth point, it becomes a curve. Okay, let me undo that. With the anchor point 2, it is anchor point 2, so it has full control over anchor point 2. You can simply click this, drag to get a smooth point, or a curve there, a curve here, curve here. Okay, curve, you can even twist it like this. Good. All right, so we've just distorted that square. This is the anchor point 2. Okay, works easy. Is that English correct? So you can tweak anything anchor point. Okay, right, now this is a straight line, and it can simply convert straight lines into arcs. So you can just click the straight line, drag up or drag down like that. Okay, you can click the straight line here. You can even convert this guy into a curve just like that. So this is the anchor point 2. Now sometimes you might wonder what would I do with those two? Very simple. If you want to draw certain shapes, you can, with the combining the pen tool. Okay, let's say I want to draw a heart or something. I can click once, click here, okay, and then click here, and then close the path. Good. So with the direct selection tool, I can adjust, bring it here. Okay, now with the anchor point tool, what I can do is I can click this line or this path, drag it here, click this path, drag it here. Okay, click this path, drag up like that, click this path, drag up like that. Now what is left is to convert this point to smooth point, corner point to smooth point. I can click and then smoothen it out like that, click, drag to smoothen it out. Okay, good. It becomes a heart. So if you are struggling with pen tool drawing a heart, so right now I have pen tool selected. Okay, if I want to draw a heart, I could be struggling. Oh my god, what is this? Oh god, I'm struggling. Oh no, I'm struggling. No, what's this? I'm struggling. I don't want to struggle. Okay, so with the pen tool, I will just be clicking, so I can click 1, 2, 3, 4, close it up here. Okay, grab the direct selection, the anchor point tool. Okay, and then I can simply convert lines to curves or arcs. Okay, simple as that. I'm just doing this without guides or something. Okay, when you start doing professional things here, you can do things, all sort of things. So I can, with the anchor point, direct selection tool, I can adjust things up, and these are handles. You are free to manipulate them. Okay, all right, so I got a heart over there. If this thing is too, I can click this, drag up like that. Okay, it looks like something. This shape over here looks like something. I won't mention names. You guys, I know my people, they get it. All right, so we got this thing right here. Now let's look at another thing on path. So now we've looked at how to connect lines. Okay, connect path simply by selecting and this guy, connecting them over here. Okay, so what about, let's say we want to break a line, this line right here, want to divide it into two. So what we have to do is just add an anchor point. Okay, so in the pen tool group, we add an anchor point from here. Okay, and if we select this anchor point over here, and over here in the properties, you can see this guy, the next guy, cut path at selected anchor point. If I click it, I've broken the path, but you can see that it's still the same, but I can click this and drag it. I've broken the path. Okay, so if I add another point here, and then I select, drag over these two anchor points, select them, and then I click this, I've broken these line into 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I can join these guys. I can select this anchor point, just disconnect. Okay, click to be disconnected, and now the mountain is now a volcano and it's about to erupt. Okay, all right, so you just, why am I wasting time on this? Anyway, so that is breaking and connecting, and I can connect. So let's say these two guys, they are far apart. If I select this anchor point, select this anchor point, what's the anchor point? Can I connect? Yes, you can connect, and a new line will join. I can select these two guys, connect, new line will join, select this, new line will join. That's cool. Anyways, so that is all about connecting and blah 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 anchor points. Okay, so still on path, and I'm going to introduce you to a new tool, the width tool. Okay, the width. All right, so if I select this guy over here, there's a straight line. In the properties, it is only a stroke, so I can change the size from here. I can make it 6, it becomes bigger, right? I can make it 9, more bigger. So if you look up here, you can see profile, right? So if I drop this, we have a uniform one, and this is width profile. So if I click this, you can see the edges become, the endpoints become thinner. All right, I can change the profiles over here from here. Okay, I can change different profiles. All right, so if I take this guy to uniform, now we can achieve these profiles over here with the width tool, and this guy is the width tool. Okay, so the shortcut is shift plus W. Okay, so if I select this guy, I can either change the profile or the width of this endpoint or the anchor point. Okay, so for this profile over here, this thing, if I undo that, I can change it by just clicking on the path and then dragging up. Okay, sorry, down. If you drag up and doesn't work, even if you drag up, it will look like this. Okay, let me undo that and then drag down. I can change the profile. Okay, so let me undo that. Now what about if I click and drag the anchor point up? Okay, you can see I'm increasing the anchor point. That's it. And in the properties, if you click on the stroke, this guy pops up, and the cap, if I change it to rounded round cap, you can see this what it looks like now. Okay, so let's say I put this guy aside and I grab the arc tool, so I can click here and then draw an arc just like this. Okay, so with this guy, if I select the width tool and then click on this anchor point and drag, you can see I have this tier. So now let's do more profiling. Okay, so if you have a straight line or a straight segment like this one, let me just increase the size. Okay, now the thing or the width of the endpoint is determined by the default size, okay, of the stroke itself. So if I choose this and make it, let's say 0.2 points, and then I grab the width tool and then I just bring this guy up like that, you can see that the endpoint is very thin. Good. Now if I change the stroke to this 10 and then I bring it up, you can see here becomes bigger, just like that. That was just by the way. So we can do more profiling. The fact that when we click and drag doesn't mean we can just do this with one line or this thing. I don't know what. Let me just do it. You see what I'm talking about. We can increase here just like this. Okay, and come somewhere here, click, and then squeeze out, drag up like that. If you drag down, you are increasing it. You can even increase it like this. This becomes a bump. I don't know. Let me undo that. So I can squeeze this part down, come somewhere here, and then increase it. Okay, it's just like a kid's balloon that you are tying ropes somewhere. Okay, I can click here, squeeze here. Okay, click here, and then do some fancy stuffs over here. So you can do all sort of things, okay, to this profile, and you can do more. Now this looks like a mannequin. Wow. Anyway, that was just intoms. When you say intoms, my people will understand anyways. So just by luck. So you can do more profiling there with the width tool. Okay, so sometimes we'll be doing certain logos and you will be needing the width tool. All right, so suppose we got a rectangle or a square like this. Okay, you can create a simple logo out of this by grabbing the width tool, drag this guy up like that, and we got a logo. Okay, this cool. You can say doors. It looks like doors. All right, yeah, if you put a name there, you put them on business cards, and it becomes a logo. We've seen more simple logos out there, and people will be claiming they are professional logos. Okay, so you can adjust with different width with this width tool. just as the name goes. All right, so simple as that. Continue practicing with this. Now let's look at another thing. So we have rectangles and rounded rectangles. So if we right click on or hit M, right click, we have rectangle, rounded rectangle. So the difference is that if I click and have a rectangle, let me decrease the size to a more reasonable size. Okay, we have this. Let me switch this to fill, and we have rounded rectangle over here. Okay, I can create a rounded rectangle. So the difference is that this guy has a rounded corners and this guy doesn't. Okay, so we can turn this guy to this guy, or even to an oval. We see this blue guys at the corners. Okay, they look like this. So you see this blue guy right here, circle with a blue dot in it. That's what you see at the corners. Okay, all right, so this is what it looks like, or they look like. All right, so let me place this guy here. So when you select this guy, whether it is a stroke only or a fill, they will be at the corners, and they only appear at corner points. So I will talk more about they appear at corner points, only at corner points. Okay, but let's look at this with the move tool. Okay, if I select an object with the move tool, you see they appear at all angles. But if I select an object with the direct selection tool, nothing appears unless I click an anchor point. It appears there. So if I select with a move tool, they all appear. Okay, so with that, I can, even with the move tool, I can round the corners by clicking at one live corner point. Okay, so with this guy, this blue guy over here, it looks like this. If I click, I drag, or I round all of them. Now if I want to round only this corner, I have to click this guy. Okay, this live corner handle, and then click it. It gets thicker, and then I click again and then drag. Okay, I've rounded this. All right, if I want to round this corner, I can click this guy and then round it up. Okay, but when it comes to tweaking anchor points, even this method, it is best to choose the direct selection tool. Okay, same way you can click this guy and round only this side, click this, round only this side. Okay, so whether it's fill or stroke, you can round corners. Okay, you can round the corners, and if you select, you can round all of them at the same time. Okay, so that is that. All right, so now what do I mean, or what do I mean when I say it's these blue guys only appear at corner points? So suppose I have this. Okay, if I create with the pen tool, I click, and click. Okay, so if I select the direct selection tool and then drag over this, you can see they appear. Okay, those blue guys appear. All right, now if I select this with the direct selection tool, I convert this guy in the properties. I convert this guy to a smooth point. You can see that. Okay, let me convert this guy to a smooth point. Now if I click this anchor point, you can see it doesn't appear. If I click this, it doesn't appear because it is a smooth point. Now if I click this, it appears. Now I can round this corner. Okay, so it works with corner points. Okay, it appears. All right, so if it is a corner point, you can round it. So once you see this, it means it is a corner point, a sharp curve over there. Okay, at an angle. But if you click and you don't see those blue guys, it means this is a smooth. You can convert it to a corner and it appears. You can click this, convert to a corner, it appears. Okay, so I believe we had enough. No, it's not enough. So let's look at final thing. And we just haven't eaten, please. We just look have a summary. Okay, so the summary will summarize everything so that you get summarized. In summary, all that we are saying is with the direct selection tool A on a keyboard, you can select anchor points. Okay, and once you select an anchor point, you can move it around. Okay, you can move the anchor point around any angle, any direction. All right, and we are saying you can select one or more anchor points. So I can click this, hold shift, click this guy to select these two anchor points, and I can drag them around. Okay, I can move only these two anchor points and it will affect the path, only those paths connected. All right, I can select these two anchor points and then move this path down, only this path down, okay, or any direction that I want. Okay, cool. And we are also saying that can round corners. Okay, if you select an object, for instance this one, if you select it like this, the live handles won't appear, okay, unless you select it with the move tool, and you can tweak the corner radius, okay. But with the direct selection tool, if you select it like this, they don't appear. When you click on this anchor point, one will appear and you can adjust. Okay, if you drag over all the anchor points, they will appear. You can adjust at the same time, or simply click one anchor point or one corner and then drag to adjust that. Cool. Now we are saying we can add anchor points. So you can see there's only two anchor points over here. So when I click this, I can stretch only this anchor point. This will be stationary. Okay, cool. Now adding anchor points, I can add so many anchor points by choosing the add anchor point tool plus on the keyboard for shortcuts. In the same group with the pen tool, I can add multiple anchor points. Okay, and with the direct selection tool, I can turn this guy into anything zigzag. I can move these anchor points that I added. And we are also saying that we can remove anchor points, one, by selecting the anchor point with the direct selection tool, and then in the properties we can see this guy over here, remove. You can remove it, or we can grab the delete anchor point tool, minus on the keyboard, and when we click on this, we remove the anchor point. Click on this, we remove the anchor point. Over here we are saying we can join path simply by selecting the points that we want to connect, join. So we select this, hold shift, select this. In the properties, this guy we can connect. And we're also saying that we can break path. Okay, you can break this because it's only two anchor points. So if you want to divide, we just need to add an anchor point before we break it from there. So I'll add an anchor point here. You can add you can add the anchor point at anywhere, okay, on the path. And once you add it, you just need to select the particular anchor point or where you want to cut this line from. So if you select that, you can just disconnect it from here using this. Okay, so we cut and we can separate them. You can select this joint and then cut it from here. So it's only here, but the rest are joined. If you want to separate it, we can select the anchor point and then cut. So right now we have these. This one is one line, okay, one path. You can divide. Hope you get it. All right, now we are saying that we can convert corner point to smooth, and we know what corner points and smooth points are. Corner points, you know, a curve passes through. Cool. And so you just select the anchor point that you want to convert to a smooth point. So you just select that anchor point and you come here, okay, and then you click, come here, and then you convert it to smooth, just like that. Okay, convert all of them to smooth. So if you want to be quick on that, just deselect the object. You can just select multiple corner points and then turn them into smooth. Okay, and we are also saying that you can convert smooth points to corner points. So these are 4 smooth points. I can select this guy and then convert it to a corner point. Select this, convert into a corner point. Select these two guys, convert them to a corner point, just like that. And we are saying you can do same thing, converting to corner, and then with the anchor point too. So I can click this, convert it into a smooth. Okay, convert this guy to smooth, convert this guy to smooth. Okay, with the anchor point too. All right, so can convert them. All right, and finally the width tool. Okay, so we can have a straight line, a straight path like this, and if we grab the width tool, okay, we can change the profile of the whole width itself, or the path itself, increase the width, or we can just hover on the anchor point and then change the width of the anchor point to change the profile. Now this profile looks like this one right here, okay, just like that. So you can increase the side too, okay, the same width. All right, cool. So once again, we can increase the side and then squeeze the side inwards. Okay, you can play with the profile just like that. And if we have an arc like this, we draw an arc like this, we can, with the width tool, we can make this. And if we go to the properties, click on stroke and change this, you can have this kind of shapes just like that. Okay, so we have to understand all these things so that we will be fluent in logo design. Okay, so this is the end of the tutorial. I know we are tired. Let's go and eat, and I'll see you in the next episode.